Even though the identity of the female Titan was spoiled to me, even if it hadn't been spoiled to me, I would have been able to infer it because the female Titan's appearance is very, very similar to Annie. So, but even then, I think this episode was a shocker, and it wasn't a shocker because it's like Annie's a female Titan. No, that's not it. What really makes for shock value is the tension. At that moment when Armin, Eren, and Mikasa realize, holy shit, or at least just make it obvious so that there's just no more denial that she is in fact the female Titan. That situation where it's like, we got you, aha. And she's like, I mean, because you always want to know how these people react when they're put on the spot and when something is revealed about them. It is the awkward situation that is created where all the evidence points to Annie being the female Titan. But until the other person admits what you're accusing them of, it's like, well, you don't know how things are going to play out. And somebody sent me a PM saying that they had added some things in terms of the way that she reacted that was not in the manga. So I read the manga chapter for this episode, and I gotta say, the anime did a really good job at making Annie seem like a freaking psychopath. She's got like that crazy, crazy cackle, like this high-pitched laugh, like on some Wicked Witch of the West sort of deal. And then it's like, because Armin realized that she was using Marco's maneuver gear, and I honestly never remember Armin and Marco being that close to the point where he remembered like the dents in his maneuver gear. But whatever, it was fine. So he had like an hypothesis already established, but he didn't act on it because he just didn't believe it. So like it's so weird because Armin asks her, "Why didn't you kill me back then?" And she actually says, well, I didn't think that you would push me and corner me this far. So it's like, what the fuck? The whole thing was just like this contrived plan to try to get Annie to go underground. And I believe, the whole purpose of that is to capture her. But Mikasa realizes, well, this plan has completely failed. We got to get out of here. So she grabs Eren and Armin and just runs down. I wonder if Levi is waiting for her or was waiting for her there. But what I found very interesting is that Annie puts on the ring the moment she agrees to help Armin. So it's like, yeah, she already knew. There's a talk that she has with Armin about good being a subjective issue. It's like, well, if you help me, you're a good person to me, but if you don't, then you're a bad person. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's a matter of personal opinion, according to that dialogue. But what I really did find interesting in terms of like what Annie said throughout the entire episode are two instances. Like, if I were reading this as a book, I would highlight those two passages. The first one is when Marlo gets beat up and he's like really upset. He's like, I guess I really am just a piece of trash like everybody else. And she's like, well, I don't know about that, but isn't that what, really, that doesn't make you any less human. In fact, that makes you human because humans go with the flow. A lot of humans just go with the flow. And so, but she says, what I really want is for those humans that get taken in by the flow or that follow the herd to also be considered human. So that was a very important quote, I think, or might be an important quote in terms of her mentality and in terms of why she slaughtered all those people, in terms of why she agreed to go against the Survey Corps and all that stuff. But the most important one is at the end, before she transforms, she's like telling Armin, you won your little gamble. However, what I gambled on is just about to begin. So those are some serious high stakes that she's betting on. In fact, yeah, because Annie ain't stupid, so I wonder if she was betting on the Titans completely annihilating the humans eventually. I wonder if that's what she was betting on. Also, Annie is a very deep thinker, so just going back to the conversation she had with Marlo, she was like, what's wrong? Don't you want to punish the corrupt? Go ahead. I'll even help you. So I wonder if at one point in her life, she was actually, going up against a power, and then realized that it was just way too overwhelming and that she didn't stand a chance. And that's why she, she succumbed, and that's why she decided to say, well, fuck it. I might as well just, become a female Titan and just kill the opposing side, or you know, try to help the Titans win the war. Don't shoot me for this, but I actually wanted to see more of that flashback that we got in the beginning when she was training, because you could tell that her father was really strict on her. He was like, no breaks, Annie, no breaks. So, and that's how she learned, you know, those combat moves. And again, yet another clue that the female Titan was Annie, just the way that she was moving, those hits, the way she was pretty much impossible for Eren to hit. The reveal was creepy as hell, but I think that's what made it stick with me, you know? It was such a weird thing, like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde switch, you know? It's like a 180, and she looked kind of like she was drunk. And just another question, final question. Remember that episode where they were trying to get the fuel back and they were in that elevator and they start shooting at the Titans, and then Sasha and Connie, I believe they fuck up because they were supposed to take a Titan down and they didn't. And then Annie came in along with Mikasa. Annie did, you know, kill a Titan there. So I wonder if that was just all an act to, you know, conceal her identity, you know, from the eyes of her comrades. Because, I mean, damn. That's some deep shit if that's the case. Because if I was allied with the Titans, I would have been like, well, fuck, you know, I can't help you. I tripped too or something, you know. I messed up. My blades fell, something like that. This episode needed to happen eventually, even though half the world already knew who it was. So yeah, I mean, but it was still good. I like the shock value of the reveal. Thanks for watching, rating, and subscribing.